The day Spider-Man almost gave up, what he learned about being enough. What if I told you that even Spider-Man, the amazing web-slinging hero who saves New York City every single day, once felt like he wasn't good enough, that he looked at himself in the mirror and thought, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Today we're going to talk about the hardest day of Peter Parker's life, the day he had to choose between staying small and safe or stepping into something bigger and scarier than he ever imagined. And by the end of this story, you might just realize something powerful about yourself too. The weight of trying. Picture this. You wake up and before you even brush your teeth, someone on television is telling the whole world that you're a menace, that everything you do is wrong. That's how Peter Parker starts every single morning. J. Jonah Jameson, this loud, angry man who runs the Daily Bugle, spends every broadcast convincing people that Spider-Man is dangerous, that he doesn't belong, that the city would be better off without him. Now imagine you're 15 years old. You're trying your absolute best. You saved a police officer just this morning. You stopped a bad guy named Trapster. You webbed him up, left a note for the cops, and thought, maybe today people will finally see that I'm trying to help. But instead of thank yous, you get blamed. Instead of recognition, you get criticized. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever worked really hard on something, poured your whole heart into it, only to have someone tell you it wasn't good enough? That's Peter's reality every single day. And here's the thing that makes it even harder. He doesn't have a team. He doesn't have a mentor. He's learning how to be a hero completely by himself, making mistakes, breaking things, trying to figure out if 3 minutes to stop a villain is good or bad. He's doing this alone because he made a promise to his Uncle Ben, a promise that with great power comes great responsibility. But responsibility is heavy when you're carrying it all by yourself. The breaking point. Then comes the worst day imaginable. The Frightful Four, these terrifying supervillains, attack Peter's school. Not a random school. His school. The place where his best friends Mary Jane and Harry go. The place where he's supposed to be safe. Supposed to be just Peter, not Spider-Man. But they're there because of him. They figured out Spider-Man goes to Midtown High, and they're willing to hurt everyone Peter loves just to draw him out. Watch what happens. His friend Harry, the kindest, most loyal person in his life, tries to stand up to the villains. And Harry gets hurt, really hurt, because Peter couldn't stop them fast enough, because Peter wasn't good enough. And then, in the most crushing moment, Peter rushes to the hospital, and Harry's father, Norman Osborn, looks at him with these cold eyes and asks, "Do you know anything about why Spider-Man was at your school, Peter?" And Peter has to lie. He has to stand there looking at his injured best friend and pretend he has no idea why this happened, when the truth is screaming inside him. This is all my fault, but it gets worse. Remember how this whole terrible day started? Peter was supposed to pick up a cake, a simple cake for his Aunt May to honor his Uncle Ben's birthday. The man who raised him, who taught him everything about being good and kind and responsible. And Peter forgot. In all the chaos of trying to be Spider-Man, he forgot the one person who gave him everything. He comes home to find Aunt May's disappointed face, trying to hide her hurt, telling him it's okay when they both know it's not. That night, Peter sits in his room and the question that's been building all day finally breaks through. What if I'm not meant for this? What if I'm just a kid pretending to be something I'm not? What if everyone Jameson is right, and I'm making everything worse? The choice that changes everything. This is the moment everything shifts. Nick Fury, the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., the most elite superhero organization in the world, had offered Peter something earlier that day. Training. Real training. Technology. A chance to stop fumbling around in the dark and actually learn how to be the hero he's trying so desperately to become. But Peter said no, because asking for help felt like admitting he couldn't do it alone. And heroes are supposed to be able to do it alone, right? Wrong. Here's what Peter realizes sitting in his dark room that night. Being strong doesn't mean doing everything by yourself. It means knowing when you need help and having the courage to ask for it. Uncle Ben taught him that with great power comes great responsibility. But maybe responsibility also means being responsible enough to admit when you're in over your head. Maybe the truly brave thing isn't pretending you have all the answers. It's saying, I don't know how to do this yet, but I'm willing to learn. So Peter makes a choice. He puts on his suit, shoots his webs into the night sky, and swings toward the SHIELD helicarrier. He's terrified. He's exhausted. He's still carrying the weight of Harry's injury and Aunt May's disappointment, but he goes anyway. And when he arrives, Fury doesn't say, "I told you so." He doesn't make Peter feel small. He just says, "Welcome to S.H.I.E.L.D. Spider-Man. Hope you survived the experience." It's a joke, but it's also the truth. Growth is uncomfortable. Learning is hard. Becoming better than you were yesterday requires you to face the parts of yourself that aren't good enough yet. And that's scary. The truth about you. So here's what I want you to understand. You are Peter Parker. Maybe you're not fighting supervillains, but you're fighting something. Maybe it's that voice in your head that says you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not brave enough. Maybe it's the fear that if you try your hardest and still fail, it'll prove that you were never meant for great things in the first place. But here's the secret that Peter learned that night. You don't have to be amazing all by yourself. The strongest people in the world, the real heroes, aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who struggle and keep going anyway. They're the ones who say, "I need help," and then they accept it. They're the ones who mess up, hurt people they love, forget important things, and still choose to show up the next day and try again. Peter Parker isn't special because a radioactive spider bit him. He's special because when everything fell apart, when he had every reason to quit, he chose to keep going. He chose to be better. Not perfect, better. And that choice, that willingness to grow even when it hurts, that's what makes someone ultimate. So the next time you feel like you're not enough, remember Spider-Man sitting in his room, wondering if he should give up, and remember that he didn't. He swung into the unknown, asked for help, and became something greater than he ever could have been alone. You can do that too. You are doing that too. Every single day you show up and try, you're already becoming your own version of ultimate. And that, my friend, is the real superpower.